sure I'm going to have a mess to clean up, but it'll be worth it. There he goes.
Sailboat in the moonlight and June. Wouldn't that be heaven? Oh, heaven just for two. A soft breeze on a June night and June. What a perfect setting for letting dreams come true.
Good morning from somewhere between Beaufort and Charleston. We've tucked into a little creek here. It's called Tom's something or other. But anyway, we woke last night. It's a very tidal area because there's 5 feet of tide here. You can kind of probably see right now that the tide is flowing out to sea now, so everything's dropping. But last night, right behind me here, there were islands that were sticking out of the water like 2 feet, and over here is the shore, of course. It may appear a little further away than it actually is, but we were pretty close to it. And I mean, when you're looking at it in the dark, it scares the bejeebers out of you. Essentially, when the tide went down, we were in a little bowl, just a tiny little pond that Windover swung around in, and fortunately we never touched at all. We did get stuck coming in here, and we'll probably touch again going out, but last night when we were swinging around, it was perfect. It was like 7 feet of water in that bowl. Right now there's 14 feet of water in that bowl, so I guess the tidal range was, I think it was 6'6", so almost 7 feet of water went away. This is a whole new experience for us freshwater sailors, and lots of fun. We've had rain all day, and our friends in the catamaran here are attempting to get out. They only draw 18 inches of water, but I can see they changed their mind too, so that's where we're at. Got a little visitor on board this morning. Check that out. He's got a lot of nerve, eh? Hey, buddy. Hiya. Isn't that crazy? Don't bite the canvas.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. Okay. You could put a hole through that canvas too.
I know, yeah, you gotta watch it. been hunkered down for a while in beautiful Beaufort, South Carolina. This place is quite accommodating also to cruisers, and they have a beautiful park here that has a lot of facilities. There's also a store here where they'll lend you a car to drive around. So we're having a great time here. We're going to get all of the stuff that we needed for the boat, special stuff that we had to special order. We're going to get it all shipped here, and that way we can just sit out a few storms and also repair a few things as we're here. The one major thing was an exhaust leak I had on a hose in the back end of the engine. We've got that fixed now, but we're working on outboard issues currently. So let's have a look at a bit of the town. Here in beautiful Beaufort, South Carolina, the architecture is stunning. And here's just one example. Isn't that beautiful? As we've been traveling around, we've been seeing all kinds of references to Robert Small, especially in like Charleston area and in relation to the Civil War. We just came across this church that's a beautiful, beautiful building, and lo and behold, in the cemetery, there's a monument.
And we met Ken here. Ken goes to this church, and Ken's going to tell us about his church.
This is Tabernacle Baptist Church. The church is old as 1840, around 1840 when the church was established. And the African Americans acquired the church from their former owners in 1863, around 1863, you know, after the Emancipation Proclamation.
Yes, sir.
And, we have a vibrant fellowship here, and we do enjoy it. We welcome visitors such as yourselves, and you're going to be coming tomorrow to visit us. And this is also the home of Robert Smalls. I'm pretty sure a lot of folks throughout the country and in the world know about Robert Smalls. I'll let you talk a little bit about what's your knowledge about Robert Smalls.
Robert Smalls was an African American who actually, during the Civil War, hijacked a boat out of Charleston, a big cotton transportation boat. I'm not too sure how big it was, but it transported cotton. And he and some fellow friends of his, they stole this boat off the dock, and they took it out of Charleston up to the battle line, and they gave it over to the Union soldiers, and then so they could use that during the war. But after that, the guy that he had actually taken it from, who was the previous owner, bought it back from the Union. Anyway, so he was a very brave man, and he's buried here in the cemetery.
Now he went on to do other things, though, right?
Amazing. Robert Smalls, you know, he was a slave. And he actually became one of the first African American congressmen.
Wow.
That's
in the
right.
United
Yes.
States. So he's very much here. His gravesite is back here.
Okay.
With his first and second wife. He's married. You know, his first wife died. He remarried. So he's buried here. They have excerpts and exhibits of him at the African American Museum in Washington.
Oh yeah.
This is basically where he's buried, and this is his hometown. He has had a house on French Street over there, where he grew up. And this is Robert Smalls.
This is the home of Robert Small, the gentleman that Ken and I were talking about back at the church. You can see this house is quite substantial, especially for a black man in the 1800s. So it's very historical, and it's a beautiful home.
is the site of the 1983 movie Big Chill, The Big Chill. The story goes that apparently the fellow who just bought it, had a girlfriend who really liked the movie, so he bought it for her. But it's beautiful.
Behind me you can see this beautiful home, and beside it is a live oak tree. They're all over Beaufort, and if you look up into the tree you can see two other plants. They have a symbiotic relationship where the ferns grow on the bark, and this type of moss hangs from the trees, and it's gorgeous. It gives it an eerie look. And we've actually touched this, the fern, the moss that's hanging down, and it's really soft. And you can see that it's very light, it's blowing in the wind. Gorgeous!